Look at this photo. On the right, Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak believed personal computers should be sprawling, customizable canvases. Coming from hacker culture, he wanted extra slots, extra ports, and the absolute freedom for users to tinker with their own machines. Steve Jobs demanded strict end-to-end control over the entire user experience. To him, the computer was an artwork, and the user shouldn't even know what they wanted until the artist finished creating it. This device right here, the 2007 iPhone, is the ultimate physical proof of Jobs' closed-system philosophy. He held it up to the world as a perfectly sealed, uncompromising unit. By sealing the hardware and software tightly together, Apple turned the personal computer from a malleable tool into a highly restricted appliance. This promotional poster marks the iPhone's debut in an AT&T retail store. The original device shipped with a severe commercial lockdown. It was exclusively tethered to the AT&T network, with no option for buyers to switch carriers. Over in New Jersey, a 17-year-old hacker named George Hotz wanted to use the new phone, but he was a T-Mobile customer. He decided to break the lock himself. To a true hacker, an artificially locked, perfectly polished system acts as a corporate dare. It practically begs to be broken open. Hotz started with a standard tool found in any garage, a basic Phillips screwdriver. He used it to easily remove the two visible fasteners on the back of the case. Then came brute physical force. He wedged a thin guitar pick into the flawless seams, sliding it along microscopic grooves until the shell cracked open. Getting inside was only the beginning. Hotz spent the next 500 hours meticulously reverse engineering the exposed internal hardware circuitry. Taking apart the machine by force was a necessary assertion of human agency. It proved that a determined individual could still pierce an unyielding corporate monolith. Look at this schematic. The target was a single, featureless black square known as the baseband processor. This is the specific chip responsible for managing the phone's mobile network connections. Hotz performed a precise physical manipulation. He micro-soldered a tiny wire directly onto pin 21, connecting it to a grounding path. Grounding that pin manipulated the chip's internal voltage, tricking the hardware into believing its memory was entirely erased. With the physical bypass in place, Hotz tampered with the underlying bootloader code and permanently erased the AT&T lock from the software. He traded his unlocked 8-gigabyte creation to a tech founder, receiving a Nissan 350Z sports car and 3 new iPhones in return. Digital walls built out of software code offer absolutely zero protection when a user can physically manipulate the circuitry underneath. Apple reacted swiftly. They issued a public warning that any unauthorized unlocking programs would cause irreparable damage, threatening to turn modified devices into permanent, useless bricks with their next software update. But Steve Jobs understood a deeper vulnerability. As long as Apple used standard Phillips screws, anyone with a common household tool could breach the device. Software patches were no longer enough. The company forged an alien physical barrier at the manufacturing level to keep consumers out of the hardware. The largest software company in the world had to manipulate the physical constraints of industrial design just to maintain authority over its own code. Look closely at this shape. This is the pentalobe. It is a proprietary, 5-pointed fastener specifically designed by Apple as extreme physical digital rights management. Apple rolled out this new defense with the TS1 screw on the iPhone 4, replacing the standard exterior fasteners to lock down the entire outer shell of the device. They followed up with the TS4 screw on their MacBooks. By physically blocking the bottom panel, they stopped users from upgrading their own memory or solid-state drives, forcing buyers to pay massive premiums for high-spec models up front. The TS5 screw targeted internal maintenance. It sealed off the battery modules on older MacBook Pros, stripping users of the ability to swap a degrading battery and funneling them into Apple's expensive official repair network. The lockdown was so comprehensive that technicians at the Genius Bar received internal orders to secretly confiscate standard screws from older devices during routine repairs and replace them with pentalobes. The pentalobe redefined what it means to buy a piece of technology. You spend hundreds of dollars on a machine, but you are only purchasing the right to use it. The physical sovereignty of the device remains locked away, held firmly by the manufacturer.